GDP and Aliens. So I asked GDP whether or not the Sumerian gods, which were the Anunnaki, were aliens from another planet, and it basically started saying that Zecharia Sitchin is pretty much the only one and that believes that, and he's talking about pseudoscience, etc. So I think this is very biased, because everyone, I mean everyone, no matter who you are, when you read all of these, you realise the ancient texts that everything that they say is true. They tell us about other planets, they tell us where their temples were, they tell us why they did things, they tell us about the laws that came from Sumer. Basically, you can't argue with these texts. And here I'm just going to point out that clearly the gods were smarter than us. So whether or not they were aliens, I'll get to that in a sec. So here it says, give the order that the Surapa disease shall break out. That was when Enlil was trying to, as it says in the Bible, depopulate his area, or the planet at least. Now, an almighty being wouldn't need a disease. So straight away, you know, the GDP hasn't worked out that these Sumerian gods were smarter than humans. Then you've got this, which is where it basically translates into, and there's loads more of these, where they create a creature to ask to get them to carry their baskets, and that creature was humans. It goes on, there's more than this, but I'm just using that as an example. And then to prove that they are from another planet, you've got here, so this is Enlil, King Anu on Nibiru. If you read the whole of it, you'll find that that's true. Take him, which was Adam, because Adam, out of Adam and Eve, went to Nibiru. Take him and bring him back to his earth. Who would write that in the very first language ever created, to suddenly make out that people can go onto another planet? No. And make out that there's diseases and make up all this stuff. Clearly, GDP is a bit biased, and I defy anyone to say to me that this is wrong. And I've asked for religious people to do live chats, and you know what? They don't, because they are frightened, because literally these ancient texts predate the Bible and are talking about an alien race that came here with the technology and the laws that they gave us, etc. So there you go. GDP, amazing but biased. This is something that might blow your mind. So in the British Museum is this tablet. Now this tablet was found in Mesopotamia, which is now modern day Iraq. And it's interesting because it's actually legal text about the escape and capture of a slave. Ignore that Enlil, I think it's a different Enlil further on. They used a lot of the same names. But the point is, this is in the Middle East as one of the first references to slaves ever. Predating Egyptian, predating Africa, predating the British colonies, predating everything. So you've got a race here that are using humans as slaves. Now, it looks like, I would guess, that this one's probably not having his name there. I would guess that he's a descendant off of Enlil. So there you go. Slaves are fact. Everything you need to know about aliens is now on YouTube. I've been asked by you guys to collate my videos in categories. So this one's all about aliens. This one's all about me debunking the debunkers. And you can find all of that on Our True History on YouTube. But also I do have a Patreon page which has got 70 odd videos that's not been seen before. I've also put more of these collated videos on here, the part 2 of that version there, and the list just goes on. So feel free to go visit me on my Patreon page as well as the YouTube page, Our True History. See you then. Bye. Breaking news, the Great Pyramid of Giza and its new secret chamber. That's what they're telling us. However, I don't buy that. I think that when you have to literally drill through a stone, which isn't a door, just a stone, and then stick a camera through because you realise there was a gap the other side, it's a cavity. Buildings have cavities for whatever reason. Sometimes they don't want to put every single block to fill every single space. They don't have to do that. So where everyone's going on about, oh, this is a secret chamber, if this is genuine, then it's just a cavity, in my opinion. I mean, the pyramids were built as a light beam, or the Great Pyramid was built as a light beam to go up into space. Watch my previous videos. I know it sounds stupid, but when you watch them, I haven't been debunked, so that's a good thing. So yeah, basically, who agrees with me that this is just a cavity? They don't have to fill every single space just to please us in the future. This is a baby Cyclops that was born in the Middle East, and unfortunately she passed away shortly after being born. So next time someone says the Greek stories are all myths, laugh in their faces and say no, they're not all myths. And in fact, even before that, we had Cyclopses in Mesopotamia, which just happens to be the same place that the baby was just born, which is also the same place where the Anunnaki were creating various creatures, including Cyclopses as well as Minotaurs, etc. We've got all the cylinder seals for those. Watch my other videos. So here you see the actual name of the, I won't even try and pronounce it, Cyclopedia, is a rare condition that causes the child to be born with one eye. So it's not... Next time, it does wind me up, next time people say myth, 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 when I'm talking about the Anunnaki and their giant size compared to humans, not a myth. Religion. I still get people saying that the original tablets that the Bible copied from are wrong, even though they copied them. So that's a fact. Now here I thought I'd do a video on showing some facts about the gods that the Bible is really talking about but doesn't understand it. So Marduk, which was the son of Enki, who was the god of Babylon, this is his area for his temple, and that was in Babylon. Now there's thousands of carvings of Marduk. Obviously if you say Marduk didn't exist, then that's a hell of a lot of carvings and writings about Marduk. In fact, so much so that even the Elish, which is in the British Museum, talks about Marduk, saying that he was a very egotistical person, saying he created absolutely everything, which is interesting because there is in the British Museum a border stone of his territory, which actually has a turtle on it right up the top there, and to do with the creation of the universe. And of course, you may have heard stories from other religions that talk about